are many different ways to build a social media strategy. The key thing to remember is strategy is long-term, not short-term, whereas operational plans, they're short-term. So we're talking about plans can be short-term, but strategy are certainly long-term, which means take the time and take the effort to do it properly. So here are 7 steps that I quite like, or at least 7 steps that I like to follow. Step 1, develop a mission statement for our social media, as in, what are we trying to achieve? Remember, a mission statement is the reason for existing. When we talk about business mission statement, a mission statement is the reason why the business exists. For example, for Disney, their mission statement is to make people happy. The same way for us, our social media, we need to think to ourselves and go, what is our mission statement? What are we trying to achieve? Maybe it's to inform and enlighten people. Maybe it is to bring about awareness. Maybe it is to motivate people to make a change. Whatever it might be, let's begin there. Step 2. So in step 2, it's all about choosing or setting the right goals for ourselves. The goals that we set have to be SMART, as in specific, measurable, achievable / attainable, realistic, and timely. The second part is we need to ensure that our SMART objectives are also in line with our business objectives. The mission statement sits at the top, right? So this is why we do what we do. From there, you get your business objectives, which tell us what we're trying to do right now. Our SMART objectives, especially for this particular activity in terms of our social media plan, here we need to make sure our SMART objectives align with our business objectives. So for example, if our business is in survival mode, well, our SMART objectives should be based around sales. If our business is looking at growth strategies and growing and expanding the business, in that case, our SMART objectives for our social media should be related to things like awareness, getting more followers, increasing interaction, those kind of things. Step 3, understanding a target audience. So now that we've done a great job of creating a mission statement, coming up with our objectives, which align with our business objectives, we need to know our audience. Now, the market is a big place. So the market is made up of everybody, all the buyers, all the sellers. In terms of all the buyers, these are our potential customers. And let's be honest, not everyone's going to be our customer. So we need to do some segmentation, dig down a bit deeper, and try to understand who it is that is going to surely be our target market or our target audience. So through segmentation, we're able to figure that out. And then we need to understand our target audience. At the end of the day, we understand one and we can serve their needs. Hence, this is really important. Step 4, deciding on which social media platforms are right for us. Here's the thing, right? We're not going to be amazing at everything. Maybe we're really good at taking photos, but not so good at making videos. Maybe we're fantastic at blogging or replying and tweeting, but not very good at maybe taking photos. So whatever it might be, we need to really knuckle down here and find what we're good at. Once we figure that out, we need to choose the right platform for us. In the previous step, we understood or tried to understand who our target market is, who is our audience. In reality, based on what we discovered there, we may find that our audience is more likely to hang out, say, on Twitter or on Facebook or on YouTube or on Instagram or on LinkedIn or Snapchat or TikTok or whichever social media platform. So we need to figure out which ones are the right platforms for us. Initially, we may just start off with one particular platform. And then as we become comfortable, or if the results are favorable or even not favorable, we may pivot into the other platforms that are also available. At the end of the day, let's say a couple of months down the line, we'll start integrating multiple social media platforms and creating backlinks so that our customers can be driven to our website or to our face-to-face store, wherever the sale or transaction takes place. It's also important to consider these days there are social media websites that are building in functionality where things can be purchased. So we just need to figure out which social media platforms are right for us. Step 5, conducting research. Research is super important. In this particular case, let's look at what our competitors are doing. There's a couple of reasons for this. Firstly, we want to make sure that we are doing what other people are doing, or at least learning from what it is that they're doing, right? So that's the first thing. By doing that, we can learn from their mistakes. We can learn from their successes. At the same time, chances are if our competitors are doing something, maybe it's because the audience or target market is there as well. For example, right? So back in the old days, Wendy's came up with this incredible idea where they said, hey, McDonald's spends tons of money on scoping out the perfect place to set up McDonald's. So rather than try to figure this out for themselves, why not just open up wherever McDonald's is open up? Because McDonald's has done the hard work. The same concept kind of applies here. So let's see where our competitors are currently proactively being engaged. Are they on YouTube? Beautiful. Let's be on YouTube. Are they on Instagram? Beautiful. Let's be on Instagram. As part of our competitor analysis, we also want to see what they're doing well and what they're not doing very well at. And those two things we can definitely target. So for example, what they're doing well. Let's see if we can replicate it. What they're not doing well, but let's see if we can do it better. So this way we can learn from mistakes, learn from successes, and hopefully do a better job overall. Step 6, here we go. We're ready to create concepts. We have a good idea of our target market. We have a good idea of what our competitors are doing. We have selected the social media channels we want to be involved in. So now let's create content. When we're creating content, there are a few things that we need to be mindful of or aware of. Mainly, who is our target audience, which we kind of did a couple of steps ago. But also, what do they do? What are their pain points? What are their challenges? What do they find truly difficult? Because if we can understand these things, then we can better understand how to serve our particular target market. Based on that, we'll create content which is appropriate. For example, maybe creating how-to videos are perfect for our target audience. Or perhaps giving them inspirations or alternative ways of looking at things is perfect for our target audience. Maybe it's education, maybe it's entertainment, whatever it might be, that's what we're going to try and create. Now, there is one thing that we do need to be mindful of. Our level of expertise only goes so far. And from a product perspective, any business and all business, we only sell so many things. So from a content perspective and content strategy, content creation perspective, we should create stuff that we do know well, that we do understand, that we can do, that will add value to our customers. If we extend ourselves too far, we may leave ourselves behind in the process. And then when the customers finally ready to make that purchase decision, they come to us, we may not be able to meet their expectations because we've set it way up here, where in reality, what we do is more over here. So we need to make sure that we're building on the trust, we're building on our reputation and doing it at the appropriate level so that our customers know what they're in for. When we're creating our content, we also want to make sure that the content we're creating is customized to the different channels that we've selected. So for example, for Instagram, really high quality images, but very limited text. Or YouTube, rather good YouTube videos with perhaps accompanying details that a customer can then click onto or move forward with. Step 7. Step 7's kind of exciting if we've done our job right. If we haven't, it's going to be a lot less exciting. So step 7 is all about analyzing the social media strategy in terms of performance. And the way we do this is by looking at the statistics or looking at the analytics. The stats in the analytics is going to be incredibly useful when we have a decent volume across a period of time. If we're looking at very, very short intervals with not much data to look at, it's going to make things quite difficult. The key thing to remember here is we will get better at this. Well, as long as we apply ourselves and learn from our mistakes, we will get better at this. However, it takes time. So, for example, let's say we create a campaign. We looked at the various social media platforms, created different content, put it out there. We staggered it so content one went on the social media channel one at one particular time, on a different platform at a different time, or a third platform at a slightly different time. Now we're creating a huge data set right here, or we're collecting a huge data set right here. Analyzing all this should hopefully give us some good indication. What we should also do with this data is save it somewhere so that in the future, as in the next time we decide to run a similar campaign, we can pull this data out and compare with it. But of course, hopefully by that time, our audience has grown, our engagement's grown, our reputation's grown, our brand awareness has grown, our sales have picked up, we've created trust, we're creating respect, we're creating love, we're creating adoration, and us and our market, as in our target market, are much closer together, and it's a beautiful symbiotic relationship. If not, back to the drawing board.